Here are the Friday the 13th kills ranked point-wise. I already did my review on the movie. I already did the kills ranked in my own opinion. That was subjectively. This is objectively. So we're looking at how bloody the kill is, how believable the kill is, how creative the kill is, how surprising the kill is, and how scary the kill is. And each category can get from 0 to 5 points. So let's get started. There are 10 kills. At number 10 is Claudette. This is also my least favorite kill of the movie. Probably one of the least favorite kills in the franchise for me. Claudette dies via freeze frame, I guess. So, second kill of the movie, not that good. 0 points for how bloody, believable, and creative it is. 1 point for how surprising it is, just sure. 1 point for how scary it is. Well, okay, that's a tad scary, but not that much. So, Claudette comes out to a total of 2 points at number 10, and honestly, probably one of the worst horror movie kills ever. I mean, it's pretty hard to beat 2. But yeah, one of the worst horror movie kills ever. Number 9 is Brenda. She gets shot with arrows or something. There's like holes in her. So there's some blood on her face. 2 points for how bloody it is. 2 points for how believable it is. Why it's so low and why it's not an automatic 5 is because it didn't really look deadly. There's like a hole in her cheek, a small one. There's rope not tied tightly around her. It's like none of it really made that much sense. So this is honestly the one category where you can get almost an automatic 5, and you would have been higher. But yeah, only 2 for that. 1 point for how creative it is. It's really not that creative. 1 point for how surprising it is. Not that surprising that she died. 2 points for how scary it is. It's really not that scary, aside from, like, the jump scare when she gets thrown through the window. So Brenda comes out to a total of 8 points at number 9. Number 8 is Steve. He gets stabbed below screen. He's like, "Oh, hi there, what are you doing here?" And that's it. So, unfortunately, 0 points for how bloody it is because he gets stabbed, but you don't see any blood, so, that's a really easy thing to fix. Now, on the contrary, 5 points for how believable it is, because, at least he gets stabbed. 0 points for how creative it is, because that is not creative at all. 2 points for how surprising it is, kind of surprising. 2 points for how scary it is, I guess it's kind of scary. So Steve comes out to a total of 9 points. 9 points at number 8. Number 7 is Barry, the very first kill of the movie. And he's actually pretty low on just this movie and just probably in the franchise in general. He gets stabbed in the gut. He has a spot of blood on his shirt that he's holding. 2 points for how bloody it is. First kill of the franchise, really not that bloody. 5 points for how believable it is. 0 points for how creative it is, because it's not creative. 1 point for how surprising it is. It's really not that surprising that he's gonna die. And then 2 points for how scary it is. Kind of scary. So Barry comes out to a total of 10 points at number 7. Number 6 is Ned. He gets his throat slit. Unfortunately, it's you don't get to see the action on screen. Otherwise, it probably would have been 1 point more bloody, because it's only 2 points for how bloody it is. 5 points for how believable it is, though. Throat slit, of course, that'll kill him. 2 points for how creative it is. Throat slit, not that creative, so it's gotta be a little lower. 2 points for how surprising it is. Pretty surprising that he died. 2 points for how scary it is. I guess it was kind of scary to see the aftermath, but unfortunately you don't see the kill happen on screen. So that's kind of why that category is low. So Ned comes out to a total of 12 points at number 6. Number 5 is Bill. He gets pinned to the door with arrows, or like shot with arrows and then pinned to the door somehow. I don't know. 3 points for how bloody it is. Pretty bloody. Unfortunately, it's not. It's another kill that's not presented on screen. Otherwise, it could have been a little bit more bloody. 4 points for how believable it is. Because I don't know if he was shot up against the door, because I think he's like in the air, so are the arrows pinning him up? So I had to take 1 point off for that, just because, I mean, yeah, the arrows obviously killed him, but like he's not pinned against the door with arrows. 2 points for how creative it is. Not really that creative. Killed with arrows. 2 points for how surprising it is. Not that surprising that he dies. And 2 points for how scary it is. It's kind of scary to see the body reveal. So Bill comes out to a total of 13 points at number 5. Number 4 is Marcy. She gets an axe to the head. 2 points for how bloody it is. Kind of bloody. 5 points for how believable it is. Axe in the head, of course. 2 points for how creative it is. It's just not really that creative of a kill. 2 points for how surprising it is. Pretty kind of surprising. And then 3 points for how scary it is. It was a pretty scary-ish kill. So Marcy comes out to a total of 14 points at number 4. Number 3 is Annie. She gets her throat slit. So 3 points for how bloody it is. This is actually a much better throat slit than Ned's, because it's actually on screen. So 3 points for how bloody it is. 5 points for how believable it is. Of course, a throat slit would kill you. 2 points for how creative it is. Just not that creative of a kill. 2 points for how surprising it is. It's not that surprising. She's just all alone in the woods. And then 3 points for how scary it is. So Annie comes out to a total of 15 points at number 3. Number 2 is Mrs. Voorhees, the villain of the movie. Gets decapitated by Alice. 2 points for how bloody it is. Surprisingly, not that bloody. So it probably could have been a bit more bloody. 5 points for how believable it is. I mean, of course, head chopped off, of course. 3 points for how creative it is. Pretty creative. 3 points for how surprising it is. Yeah, it's pretty surprising that she died. And then 3 points for how scary it is. This is the climactic kill. Pretty scary kill. So it's pretty good. So Mrs. Voorhees comes out to a total of 16 points at number 2. But the number 1 best most pointed kill of the original Friday the 13th is Jack. He gets an arrow stabbed through his neck when he's laying on the bed. 3 points for how bloody it is. Pretty bloody. 5 points for how believable it is. Of course, that would kill him. 4 points for how creative it is. I think it's pretty creative getting an arrow through the neck, but 1 point off just because it's using an arrow through the neck. Just 1 point taken off. 3 points for how surprising it is. Pretty surprising. And then 4 points for how scary it is. It was actually a pretty scary kill in the movie. So Jack comes out to a total of 19 points as the number 1 best most pointed Friday the 13th kill. Thanks for watching.